Hey guys, William here, aka Big Bastard, and this is a spoiler filled review of Star Wars The Force Awakens. As I mentioned on the other one, I really love this movie. It's the first movie that Star Wars movie that I ever felt like was made for me. I'll talk in the other video that doesn't have spoilers a little about how episodes 1, 2, and 3, while they were shiny and new, I never felt that connection like I had with the old series. And I feel that episodes 1, 2, and 3 were made more for Generation Y, not even Generation X. And this movie, it was, I mean, it just, if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll love it. Because the sense of newness that you get from the episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then the nostalgia from the old one. I don't know how he did, but J.J. Abrams just managed to combine them beautifully. Now, the movie was it was damn near perfect. Damn near perfect, in my opinion. You won't find the plot holes. I mean, okay, there's always plot holes in Hollywood movies, let's be honest. But you won't find the plot canyons that you found with Lucas's work, particularly in the episodes 1, 2, and 3. Uh, some things that might have pissed some, and I'm just going straight into the. Well, I'll give a little review first. So, the first about third of the movie centers on pretty much exclusively these two new characters, Finn and Rey. Finn was a stormtrooper for the First Order. He could not accept what they were doing. And by the way, the First Order is basically the new Empire, in case you haven't heard. And he basically turned on them, helped a rebel fighter pilot escape their grasp, and ended up crashing into Rey at a market after presumably having lost the rebel pilot in a TIE fighter crash that he was part of, but he had been ejected from the wreckage. And he was really sad about it because they were starting to form a friendship, kind of some space jockey camaraderie. But Finn is really emotionally sensitive, and he felt horrible about losing this new friend he had made. Runs into Rey, and they have some on planet issues. They get off planet, they meet Han and Chewie, namely because, well, they got off planet by stealing a stolen Millennium Falcon. Good times. And ended up running into Han and Chewie, who basically wanted their ship back, obviously. And they helped Finn and Rey get to a planet where an alien gal who was very wise, had managed to get Luke's lightsaber into Rey's hands. Now, part of the reason the First Order was tracking Rey and Finn was because they had been companioned with this TIE fighter pilot's droid, BB-8, and the droid had contained a section map that had the whereabouts of Luke Skywalker on it. And so they get this to the rebellion, but it ends up that the um, First Order has basically was a Death Star on crack. They've channeled out part of a living planet to make a super weapon, and this super weapon literally draws and extinguishes suns to recharge its firepower. It is very intense. And so Han Solo they were trying to figure out how to they found a weakness, but they were trying to figure out how to get at it without losing a substantial number of fires, because they're like, well, you blow this and the shields go down, they'll just get repair and get the shields up almost instantly, or backup generators or whatever. And Han Solo had this great idea to do kind of an Endor like mission where they go down and they blow the main, I want to say it was a thermocoupler, but I'm not sure. Yeah, blow some major piece of equipment up so that they wouldn't have the chance to just repair. And they go down on site, and eventually, I mean, it's a typical Death Star mission, basically. Eventually, everyone meets up, but then Han Solo and Chewie had gotten, um, I think they were taking a different route to. Oh no, they were planning the explosives, and Han and Chewie split up from Finn and Rey. They had the chance to get off the planet, but they're like, we got all these explosives, we might as well do our job. Well, Han had come across the Dark Lord Kylo Ren, and Han couldn't resist going after Kylo Ren and basically pleading with him to turn from the dark side, because Kylo Ren is Ben Solo, Han's son. Now, here's the part that's mind-boggler number one. Although I should have seen that coming, I'm kind of pissed I didn't, because it falls within the books. Sorry, thought somebody was here. And the major spoiler number two is probably really going to piss you guys off. So, I mean, I swear to God, do not listen to this. Just stop it right here if you do not want an incredibly enormous spoiler, even bigger than the one I just gave you, because it's going to piss a lot of people off. Give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Still here? Okay. While Han is pleading with Ben to cast off the dark side, Ben starts stirring up, and he's like, I only you can give me what I need. And he's like, only you can help free me from this. And Han's like, okay. And Ben had handed him the lightsaber with the cross hilts. Well, Han, as he was in the process of taking it, Ben killed his own father right there and then. And what he meant was that only his father could help him with was he was having doubts. He kept trying to go back to the light side. And by killing his father, he could totally cast off that doubt. Now, if this sounds like an uncertain Darth Vader to you, it is. It should also be known unlike, well, I can't say Darth Vader owned the Empire either. Like Darth Vader, Kylo Ren does not own the Empire, the First Order, as it were. He is actually under the tutelage of a Sith Lord, much like the Emperor. It's an alien creature, and it looks a lot like those that, what were they, Commodians? I can't remember. From episode 2 that were cloning. Chemoians, something. Anyhow, it looks a lot like those creatures. But at any rate, Chewie gets pissed, shoots Ben with his bowcaster, but it wasn't a fatal shot. And Finn, Rey, and Chewie basically started blasting troopers, and they eventually managed to get off planet. When it was realized that the planet was compromised, the planet's integrity was compromised, they managed to get, the Dark Lord managed to get the main officer of the of Kylo Ren's Star Destroyer, who's a high up in the First Order, and Kylo ran off the planet, told him to evacuate. And Kylo Ren does not inspire fear in the higher officers like Darth Vader did his, which is interesting to watch because Kylo Ren really is just this. I mean, he's almost like Anakin in some ways. He's young, he's still dealing with the balance between the dark and the light side of the Force. He wants to give over completely to the dark, but he's driven towards the light. And basically, that's kind of pretty much sums up the movie. They got back after Han Solo had been killed. Chewie, yeah, I know he was grieving, but literally, he didn't even know Princess Leia knew. I'm sorry, General Leia knew that Han Solo had been killed, and he just walks right on by her. Now she had known because of the Force, and she did manage to keep that poise, that calm that she had when Alderaan was destroyed before her eyes. I mean, yeah, I know she shouted out no in an attempt to stop it, but effectively she was still fairly reserved considering their plan had been decimated. You'll see that here. Han Solo, uh, talking about what we're talking about, Han Solo and Princess Leia. Harrison Ford, facially, he doesn't. I mean, we know he's aged in that, but if you look at his facial expressions, all you'll see is Han Solo, an older Han Solo. You don't see Harrison Ford at all. It's like he slipped back into that role like a glove. Carrie Fisher, the years have not been kind to her, and it's a little harder to kind of get the sense of Leia, but you will see that she does project that aura that Leia did, that refined, calm, collected demeanor, even when all hell's breaking loose. So Chewie walking right past her was kind of past Leia was kind of my first problem with the movie. I know I said I only want one, but it's only one major problem with the movie. In reality, I only have two total problems, and that was one with Chewie. Poe, or I'm sorry, not Poe. Poe does show up again, by the way, and him and Finn didn't really have the chance to reconnect, but they had some of that solidarity going on that Biggs and Luke did when they were getting ready for the flight on the Death Star. Finn had taken some damage and was in mid-bay. Rey and Chewie took the Falcon. They were going to find Luke Skywalker. They jump into hyperspace and end credits, right? That's the way it should be, right? I mean, just right there. All Empire Strikes Back like. Right? No, wrong. They really rushed everything after the jump into hyperspace as far as I was concerned. They come out of hyperspace, they go to a planet. You see Rey, I mean, you see a beautiful sweep of the Falcon in on the planet above a river, or I mean, not a river, lake. And there's some ancient stone architecture stepped. And you see Rey run up that, and then you see a man in a tan cloak. This is the one part in the movie that kind of excited me and pissed me off at the same time. Because we know it's Luke Skywalker. But they had rushed up to that moment. I mean, literally, it should have ended on Rey and Chewie's jump to hyperspace. Bottom line, no story. I don't know if this was Abrams catering to the fans because everybody been bitching about where's Luke, where's Luke, where's Luke. Well, now you got Luke. Kind of pisses me off how you got to Luke because it's just bam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The part I did love, though, was Luke turn around very slowly, and he had a scraggly white beard with a little dark hair down here. Clearly, reminiscent of Obi-Wan Kenobi. She stands there for a minute, and then she goes to hand him the lightsaber. If I recall correctly, he took it, and that's where the movie ends. So I'm going to tell you guys, go watch the movie. Awesome movie. Let's make it a blockbuster, just like the original Star Wars. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. And I'm looking forward to episode 8, because the only way this can get screwed up is if Abrams isn't able to scale up like the original trilogy did. You had Star Wars: A New Hope, which you kind of get a handle of the characters in that. But then you go in this much darker Empire Strikes Back, and Empire Strikes Back is to this day my most favorite movie. If I had to do an ordering of them right now, not counting The Force Awakens, it would be Empire, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, and then actually the original 3, well, not original 3, episodes 1, 2, and 3 in reverse order, because Phantom Menace is by far my least favorite. And while I did really like the second one, I don't give the second and third ones a lot of shit like other people do, because I did see the merit in them, even though the merit lacked some substance compared to others things. But yeah, I loved this movie so much that it actually ranks, The Force Awakens actually ranks under Empire for me. It was that good. So I hope all my fellow Star Wars fans check it out. I hope you guys love it. And this is Big Bastard signing off for now, and we'll see you later.